21 in the nation, is currently ranked 27th by Flow Wrestling. And he was the SoCon Wrestler of the Week this past week, coming after his big win. And moving on to App State's projected lineup. Noting there at 149, Hayden Kaiser, 165, Will Miller, in 97, Carson Floyd. At 133, Chad Bellis, he's ranked 33rd in the nation, and Will Miller's ranked 7th in the nation. He's senior from Alabama. Also ranked for Appalachian State, Luke, and I'm going to butcher this last name, but Ulano, sorry about that, and Carson Floyd also ranked 28th, and that's in the coaches' rankings. So a really strong Appalachian State squad there with, what is that? Appalachian State is coached by John Mark Bentley. And he's been here, he's an institution at Appalachian State. In high school, he was the third four-time state champ in North Carolina history, wrestled for North Carolina University, and has led Appalachian State ever since. And for Bellarmine, we have Coach Ned Shuck. Coach Shuck took over in 2021, and he is helped by Brendan Murphy. Coach Shuck wrestled for Iowa, and since then, he's coached all across the nation at multiple levels, high school, Division II, Division III. Before Bellarmine, he was at Army, West Point, as an assistant coach, and took over the Bellarmine program as they ascended into Division I. This year is Bellarmine's first year as a fully sanctioned program in Division I. So for the past few years, they've been able to wrestle as a Division I school, but not in the NCAA tournament. So this is their first year. So at 125, we have Bryson Terrell versus Jack Parker. And that is a change at 125. Previously against Campbell, it was Damian Ryan and Jack Parker back in the lineup. Jack's been in the lineup on and off this season, and last year was the starter at times. So this should be a good match. And for Appalachian State, we have the redshirt freshman from Tennessee, Bryson Terrell, with a season record of 11-11. Or should I say career record so far 11-11, but I guess as a redshirt freshman, that is his record. 2-1 in the SoCon on the season. 2-1 SoCon dual record going into this match. Going to start at 125. Bryson Terrell versus Bellarmine's Jack Parker. Yeah. Yep. Again, that is at 125. Bryson Terrell versus Bellarmine's Jack Parker. We're starting the duel off that. So again, mentioned this year, Bellarmine is their first fully sanctioned year at Division I, started the season out against Iowa. They hosted Iowa at home for a record-setting crowd of over 2,000 people in the stands. The number was 2,228, or close to that number. Dan Gable was in the crowd. We had multiple Olympians in the crowd, and the excitement and the energy was pretty crazy here to start out the season. Iowa did pick up that win, 49-0, but Bellarmine followed it up with a win over Kent State here at home. Since then, they had a pretty busy tournament schedule, not a lot of duels. Like I said, the last duel was against Campbell, but since then, well, beforehand, I should say, which is individual tournaments such as the Southern Scuffle, where Bellarmine had 2 individuals place. One of those being at heavyweight, Will Muckler, who finished 7th place.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, back to our first match of the day.
And here we go at 125.
125 pounds for Appalachian State, Bryson Terrell.
We have Bryson Terrell for Appalachian State and Jack Parker for Bellarmine to start off this duel. Again, Appalachian State leads the series 4-0. So Bellarmine's going to try to change that around, and App State's going to try to keep it going. Keep that streak going. Table's signaling. We've got some issues here at the table before we can start the match. Looking into that right now. But as we go into this again, Appalachian State leads the series 4-0. The next duel for Bellarmine is against the BMI on February 2nd. So here we go. So we have Terrell from App State with that front headlock, trying to push Jack Parker down. Playing the edge here, doesn't score yet. Didn't get all the way behind. Gonna cover the hips, get all the way behind. No score. Good job by action by Jack Parker there on the edge to keep wrestling there, not giving up the takedown. So good job there. Nice deep on that sweep. Let's see if he shelves that leg up. He has that nice and tight. Terrell doing a good job with the wizard there, fighting that. Stay on the edge. Jack Parker still deep in there. Let's see if he shelves it up. There he goes. He shelves it. I think he'll try to bring it back in. Give him some more room to work there. Kicks that leg out and scores a takedown. Again, takedowns now are 3 points. So that's 3 points for Bellarmine's Jack Parker. Returns Terrell. And that's been a recent change the last few years. Here's the 3-point takedown. High school just introduced that this year. College had it now. I believe this is the second year. That's something I have to get used to. I always want to yell 2, on takedown, but that's no longer the case as it's 3. The score is corrected there as it is 0-3. Jack Parker in the lead. He's on top. He has an arm. Let's see if he wants to run an arm bar or a chicken wing. He's trying to collect that wrist. And we're having Jack Parker there on top. Let's see if Terrell can get up. Jack Parker's collecting riding time. Remember, that is a factor. Big return there. It's a good action by both wrestlers so far. The Jack Parker, after that first initial scurry, showing some dominance there on his feet with those big returns. Good. We're still in the first period, 1 minute and 9 seconds left. Bellarmine's Jack Parker is up 0-3. And we're having some issues here at the table, so we're going to have to pause action for a second. I believe we're having some issues with the riding time. Yes, so some issues here with riding time. As the table works to get that collected. But again, Jack Parker, Bellarmine's Jack Parker is up 0-3. Had that nice sweep takedown there. Brought in Bellarmine's Terrell. Brought in Appalachian State's Terrell. Shelved that leg and had 2 big returns there. So scores 0-3. Again, Bellarmine coached by Ned Shuck and Appalachian State by John Bart Mintley. So after looking at the schedule ahead, just a little early on while we await the fixing of the riding time, is Bellarmine has VMI February 2nd at 1 p.m. Following up versus the Citadel and Davidson, Gardner-Webb Presbyterian, and ending the season with University of Tennessee Chattanooga, UTC. Then they'll be going to the SoCon conference and then the NCAA tournament. So that's kind of Bellarmine's dual schedule. So they started the season with 2 duels, had some individual tournaments, such as the Cougar Clash, Soldier Salute, and the Southern Scuffle, and now back on dual schedule. And we're headed to a quick break right now, so we can fix the riding time issue at the moment. So we'll be returning here shortly. Duel, Appalachian State, Bellarmine. We're at the 125-pound weight class. We're back to it. The clock issues have been resolved. We had an issue with riding time not appearing on the clock and being started at the start of the match. But we're here in the first period. Score is 0-3. Bellarmine's Jack Parker in the lead over Appalachian State's Bryson Terrell. Again, still here in the first period, but up on their feet there. Terrell gets the escape. Score is now 3-1. Under a minute now in the first period here at 125 pounds. Terrell really likes that front headlock. At the beginning of the match, he got that and almost scored on Jack Parker. Jack really likes that sweep there on the left side. That's what he got his first takedown with. So both wrestlers now create a little distance. Back inside. Parker there trying to get Terrell to step so he could get that sweep. Again, he's trying to pull there. The fingers are getting wrapped there a little bit. The Bellarmine side there, not too happy with that finger grab, because you can only grab 4 fingers. So 10 seconds left here in the first period. Terrell with a flurry of action here. Some shots here on the edge. A stalling call on Bellarmine's Jack Parker. There on the edge, he needs to circle. He went out of bounds there, so they're going to get called for that. So 5 seconds left here in the first period. And that's the conclusion of the first period. Moving on to the second period. Bellarmine's Jack Parker is up 3-1. Appalachian State's choice. He defers. So he'll have choice in the third period. Jack Parker for Bellarmine takes down. Again, scores 1-3. Jack Parker does have that stalling call there on the edge. So Terrell tries to trap that leg there, trying to put boots in there. Jack Parker doing a good job not letting him get that in. He's to stay moving there on the bottom, though. The longer he stays still, the longer Terrell has the opportunity to put those legs in and get those in tight. But Jack Parker doing a good job. Now he's moving that to the head. Just keeping it legal there. And now climbs up the body with that ankle. No, lets that ankle go. Terrell right into that single leg, dumps him there. As Jack Parker still tries to get up, Terrell has that claw in. Parker needs to pull that claw off and get it off the tight waist there. Trying to play the edge, maybe look for a reset. Nothing yet, out of bounds. Again, was looking for that reset there, wasn't in a great position. Still here in the second period, minute and 12 seconds remaining here at 125 pounds. If you're just tuning in, this is the first match of the duel here at Knights Hall in Louisville, Kentucky. Just right off the whistle, Terrell chops that arm. Again, trying to put some boots in there, get legs in there. Again, Parker needs to get his elbows. Needs to get those arms out of the elbow there, as Terrell's going to flatten them out. Keeps those arms in. Just get the hips moving. And the longer you wait down there, the harder it is. It gives Terrell more time to really straighten and get position there. Not a great spot to be in. And with college wrestling, you have riding time. So Terrell's picking up some riding time here, which with our clock issues, I don't believe is showing on the graphic here at home. But we have, it looks like 13 seconds of riding time. Again, not shown on the graphic. We had some issues with that. But on the clock here in the Knights Hall, we can see that. Put a little caution there. Again, 13 seconds of riding time. Score is 1-3. Let's see if Bellarmine and Jack Parker can get up with 30 seconds left. Terrell back to riding those boots in. Parker's got to stay moving there. He's got to get his hips moving, keep his hips up. Can't let that other boot come in. 15 seconds left here in the second period. We're up to 34 seconds of riding time now in Appalachian State's favor, with under 10 seconds here in the second period. And I'll try to keep you guys at home updated on that riding time, because again, it's not shown on the graphic, I believe. So now we move into the third period. Appalachian State's choice, as they deferred in the second period to Bellarmine's Jack Parker. Appalachian State's Bryson Terrell takes bottom. He's currently losing 1-3, but riding time is in his favor currently with 43 seconds. And quick stand up there. Score is now 2-3. Riding time's at 41 seconds in Terrell's favor. Jack Parker deep on the shot there. Let's see if he can stand up and hit the corner. Terrell likes to pinch the knee there and really clamp down so Jack can't move and get a stalemate call there. So we'll see if this stalemate gets called here. He's in there pretty tight. Yes, and there's the stalemate there. So good wrestling by Bryson Terrell there to get that stalemate, as Jack Parker got nice and deep there. Wasn't able to convert on that takedown. We'll see if Jack Parker goes back to that sweep, because that worked pretty well for him there in the first period. But Terrell staying on the offensive there with his shots on the edge. We have some hand fight. Nice little duck there by Jack Parker. Not able to convert, but nice duck. Nice to that sweep there. Same left side there. And let's see if he can convert. Again, Bryce Terrell trying to pinch there with his knees, clamp down at the waist, and prevent Parker from converting and looking for that stalemate. We'll see if he gets it or not. Parker turning. Let's see if he can climb up the body and score the takedown. Terrell still doing a good job at pinching and not letting Parker clear those hips. No score yet. We have 38 seconds here in the third period. Parker trying desperately to score here. No score, no change awarded yet. We have 24 seconds left here in the third period. Let's see. Nothing yet. The Bellarmine bench wants that called, and there it goes. There's the takedown by Jack Parker. With 14 seconds left in the third period. Score is now 2-6. Running time at 35 seconds in Appalachian State's favor, but it doesn't hit that minute mark. So we have 8 seconds left here in our first match of tonight's duel at 125 pounds. Bellarmine's Jack Parker versus Appalachian State's Bryson Terrell. We have a caution there, quick movement. If Terrell stands up within the 8 seconds, score will be 3-6, and a takedown would tie it. So he needs to stand up to a takedown. Let's see if we can get that. So he gets his escape, tries a little throw there. Nothing, but still on the offensive. Good job to stay wrestling. Ooh, that was very close. That was very close. Very close by Terrell. One more second. I think he gets that takedown. But Bellarmine's Jack Parker at 125 pounds takes the win over Appalachian State's Bryson Terrell. As we head to 131 after the break.